Okay, so we are having a session on ethics review. My target is primarily those who are appearing in this December, that is 15-20 days from now. However, there are also people who are going to appear in June 20 or in December 20. Some of them have some idea of ethics, but have not studied. Some of them have no idea of ethics. It is a very good experience for them that they will get a very strong idea on ethics as a result of the session. But my target shall be the December examinees who are going to appear in December. You know, in the AM session and in the PM session, we have 18 questions on ethics. 18 in the AM, 18 in the PM. That's a very high amount of weightage. And no matter how much we study in ethics, you cannot be 100% sure that definitely my questions will be correct. So it's always a very challenging area. People, when they study ethics for the first time, they get the impression that it need not be studied, we can do it by common sense. It is not true, because the questions are very difficult, such that by common sense, your number of correct answers will not take you to the high percentile or the medium percentile. You will land up to the lowest percentile, guaranteed, unless or until it's a very lucky day for you. Okay, it doesn't happen. So one should work hard towards it. Now, while teaching in class, I have said that there are 3 portions to CFA Level I Ethics. One is Ethics and Trust in the Investment Profession, a small chapter. Second is Code and Standards, that's the main part, Code and Standards. And the third is GIPS, GIPS. I've always told you all, and I'm once again repeating, if you want to ensure that you don't land up to the low percentile, you first of all do GIPS, GIPS. I had 2 classes on GIPS, perfect classes. Okay, they themselves are a review because only 2 classes are there on GIPS. If somebody does those 2 classes, very low chance that he will not be able to do the questions of GIPS correctly in the exam. So out of 18, we can expect 4 questions on GIPS. Correct, sure. Maybe 6 questions, but suppose 4. Now, out of the remaining 14 questions, maybe 1 question will come from Ethics and Trust in the Investment Profession, the first chapter. So first chapter could be disregarded. I'm not saying leave it, but just forget about it right now. So the main ethics part is the second part, which is Code and Standards. Okay, so number 1, GIPS, it ensures that you get 4 or 5 correct. Number 2, the Code and Standards, and towards the end, you can devote some 10-20 minutes to the first chapter, Ethics and Trust in the Investment Profession. Understood? So first chapter should be done towards the end. When you have completed ethics, you just wanted to see it. Okay? My focus will be on Code and Standards, the standards. Okay? I'll not be taking anything on GIPS because I've taken GIPS. I want just 2 classes. So what is the purpose? Sir, we should have review classes. GIPS is already a review class. There are just 2 classes. So I will be focusing on the Code and Standards. Okay? Towards the end of the session, last 10 minutes, I will also talk about exam temperament and examination specific advice, because the examinations are just 15-20 days from now. So I'll talk about the examination specific advice that will be very helpful for the December examinees. They know everything, but the problem is that when stress level rises, a person's common sense depreciates and he makes some mistakes which are really costly, and post facto he thinks about them and he feels, no, he could have avoided them. I'll talk about those aspects towards the last 10 minutes. Okay? Now the Code and Standards. Basically, the idea of the entire ethics in the CFA curriculum is that you are going to analyze companies and economy and industries. You're going to analyze economies, industries and companies and come out with an opinion as to which stock is better for which client. So you're going to analyze. You're going to recommend whether the stock is a buy or a sell, a weak buy or a strong sell. And you're going to be a portfolio manager or advisor close to your client. Look at his circumstances. What is his risk appetite? How many years does he want to invest? What amount of wealth does he has? What are his main priority needs? And accordingly, you will advise which stock he should buy. So investment analysis, recommendations and actions. Investment analysis, analyze the economy, industry, company. Okay, you are a professional. You are learning all that in the CFA curriculum. So you should use all that knowledge to analyze the economies, industries and companies. Which sector will do well? So I don't think in the coming years, the fast moving consumer goods FMCG sector in India will do well because the stocks are really highly priced. We don't feel that they can raise prices for consumers, this and that. So whatever, there's some logic by which you feel the sector will not provide high returns. On the other hand, you feel that, sir, I believe the private banking sector in India should provide high returns because they have already bled a lot. There's a lot of provisioning they have made for NPAs and NCLT is very strong. So now more and more recoveries will take place. Okay, and therefore I think the private companies, private banks will do well. Okay, I'm just giving an example. So you got to analyze companies, industries and economies and come out with your opinion. Then recommend whether it's a buy or a sell at what price. And then the portfolio manager or advisor who is close to the client got to analyze the client also and see what is suitable for the client. A good stock may not be good for all because that good stock is good because it's going to provide a high return, but it has a high risk. So a client whose risk objective does not allow taking high risk, for him, that good stock is not good now. So suitability. Okay. Plus clients are at different levels of sophistication. Most clients are very naive. They don't understand too much sophisticated things. You got to prima facie communicate to them as to what is your basic philosophy of analyzing, what assumptions you take, what risks are there. You got to talk to the clients nicely so that they understand and they take a rational decision. Okay? The dialogue of my classes when I taught ethics was, people require competent and trustworthy advice. It's not written anywhere. This was my main language in my teachings. People require competent advice and trustworthy advice. And I do not find a better statement than this in the whole of the CFA Institute Ethics. People want advice which is competent, which is not given by any Tom, Dick, Harry. Buy this stock, like on the street, people keep on saying, nah, this stock will do well. People want competent advice. People want trustworthy advice. If I am advising a stock, am I advising it because I am owning the stock? Am I advising it because my family is owning the stock? Am I advising the stock because my employer is owning the stock? Am I advising the stock because my employer has some investment banking relationship with the company? Okay, and therefore, if I recommend the stock, the company will be happy. It will give more work to my employer. Why am I recommending the stock? I should be recommending the stock only if the stock is really good based on my analysis and it is suitable for the client. So people want competent and trustworthy advice. If the stock later on goes down, and many clients who bought the stock based on my buy recommendation, they lose wealth, it would be so difficult to put a blame on me because there's a lot of information asymmetry. The stock in which I was very confident will go up can go down, yes, because there are uncertainties relating to the economy or related to the company. So even the best of analysis can fail and the stock can go down. I don't have a crystal ball that I can see the other side, what's the future. I can just be probabilistic about, yes, there's a high likelihood the stock will do well, but the stock can go down. If I have a proper research backing it, if I can show that I made the recommendation based on this research, okay, I had worked hard on it and I have the records to prove, nobody can catch my collar. That, sir, you said the stock should be bought and look, the stock has gone down. Yes, it's possible. But if I do not have the research, okay, I have not done the research and the stock went up and later it is proved that I had not done the research, that was unethical. The results will not validate or invalidate the analysis. We are concerned with the process, not the results. Okay? So the entire ethics is geared towards it. We have a larger responsibility towards the capital market society. Then we have the responsibility towards the clients, then towards the employer, and then towards what? Self. Once again, this theme was repeatedly communicated. Okay, capital markets, client, employer, then self. Your interest is subordinate to the interest of the client, employer, and the integrity of the capital markets. Okay? As soon as we join the CFA L1 program, we are candidates. We are also covered by the ethics. So whenever we say it's members oblique candidates, they're all covered by the ethics. And what is easiest to teach to people without any background is the candidate portion. How are you supposed to behave in examinations? How are you supposed to behave right now in social media when you write about the CFA Institute or anything? How are you supposed to use the CFA designation? How are you supposed to tell to the world that you have cleared CFA L1 examinations? Okay, there was a lot of ethics stuff over there which is the most easiest to understand, but even there people commit a mistake. Okay, I have always felt ethics for the purpose of the exam can only be done via questions. Yes, along with questions, you can keep the core reading standards and just read it to see what he's saying, but your main thing should be questions. The best questions are from the CFA Institute sources. The best questions are from the CFA Institute sources, not from our book. Our book just makes you practice extra, but the best questions are the CFA Institute sources, the candidate resources. So whoever is appearing for the exam this time, I will advise, do the 130 or 150 questions that are there in the CFA Institute candidate resources. They are the best. If you do those 130, 150, most probably you will get a high percentile in ethics. But you have to do them in a very passionate manner, reading the answers again and again. The questions, then the answers. A doesn't matter. Why A? Why not B? Why not C? You have to read the reasoning. If you just move, oh, A is the answer, C is the answer, that way it's a very bad preparation. Okay? So I have with me a set of around 77 or 78 questions over here. I don't think we'll do all of them. We'll do around 35, 40 of them, and the remaining will be shared with you. So these are also taken from institute sources only. Okay, these are not prepared by me. They are taken from institute sources because people tend to have an attachment. No, sir, you provide your own questions. I can't do 150. Which 70 do you advise? If that's the case, okay, it's okay. You have one more. Otherwise, the epitome, the best questions are that from the candidate resources. Okay? We cannot prepare better than them. Okay, even if we try to, because they are most representative for the exam. Okay? And remember the language. For ethics, there's a single language. People want competent and trustworthy advice. The moment you understand this, this is the core of ethics, entire thing. You're going to manage crores of money of people. You have to be ethical, otherwise they will not have confidence on you. I will not get a job, you will not get a job, the entire industry will crumble down. The biggest growth that's happening in India is not of investment banking. The biggest growth that is taking place in India is that of investments. Okay? You become a CFA charter holder after 3 levels or after 2 levels only, you start your own investment advisory firm. Okay? You start a PMS, portfolio management service. You start an alternate investment fund. You start a venture capital fund. If somebody says, I want to make it big in the financial markets, that's it. Investment advisory, portfolio management services, venture capital fund, alternate investment fund. So how will I know about them? Spoon feeding will not take place. You're learning knowledge over there. You have to go to SEBI guidelines and see what is required to set up an AIF. So it's not only about a job of 6 lakhs or 8 lakhs package that we are hindering at. This is a big, big industry that's going to explode in India like anything. Biggest career that can be made is by managing funds of others. Okay? So you got to feel that passion, and you will find then your interest towards the course. You will study 8 hours instead of 4 hours. You will not leave the studies because you're so passionate. It's taking me over there. Okay? So the slides which are arranged over here, there are some slides, PPT, which I am not going through. Okay? And also, okay, these are questions only. Let's come to the questions. No, sorry, wait a minute. So this is a question from standard 3B, fair dealing. Freebie, fair dealing. Fair dealing with whom? With your clients. Fair dealing. Deal with your clients fairly. Do not be unfair. Do not discriminate. Be very fair to your clients. Okay? Smith, a research analyst with a brokerage firm, decides to change his recommendation for the common stock of Green Company from a buy to a sell. You are changing your recommendation. That goes to show research is one time or continuous. Continuous. Research is continuous because the dynamics of the company industry are changing. So we felt the stock is a buy. Now we feel the stock is a sell. And we have the research supporting it. The Smith decides to change the investment recommendation from a buy to a sell. He mails this change in investment advice to all the firm's clients. He mails it to all the clients on Wednesday. The day after the mailing, a client calls with a buy order for 500 shares of Green Company. So he mails on Wednesday that now the stock is a sell according to us, it's not a buy. But the client on the next day calls for a buy order of 500 shares of Green. Isn't it strange? We have mailed that it's a sell recommendation. The client is calling us on Thursday that buy 500 shares. You know the reason why? He might not have seen the mail. He might not have seen the mail. Or he might have seen the mail, but he believes that our recommendation is not correct. His own analysis is correct and he wants to buy. Is it possible? Yes. Okay. There could be two reasons. He did not see the mail, so he is actually saying buy because we had given a buy recommendation. He is not updated. Or maybe he knows that we have given a sell recommendation, but he believes that no, we are not correct. He is correct. Correct? Whose money is it? His money. Can you decline? No, I will not buy. Because our firm has a sell recommendation. That is stupidity. But what if the first case is there? He has not seen the mail. You just gave the mail yesterday, no? So what should you do? You should tell him that, sir, we have changed the sell recommendation. Before I execute your order, let me tell you that our buy recommendation is now a sell recommendation. Do you still want me to buy? That's how you will speak over the phone. Do you still want me to buy? If he says yes, do as I'm saying. You will buy. But if you don't inform him about the buy to sell recommendation, that is unprofessional. That's not fair dealing. And you can't decline that I will not buy because my firm has a sell recommendation. No. That's not done. In GIPS GIPS, we had something called discretionary versus non-discretionary clients. If I'm a portfolio manager and all of you are my discretionary portfolios and these two non-discretionary. Discretionary, non-discretionary. Discretionary is one in which I will decide what to do with your money. You have given me the discretion. I will decide. Because I am responsible. These two non-discretionary, they will decide what to do. They don't write everything. It is but obvious that here the client is just executing trades. Sorry, the portfolio manager is just executing trades on the basis of what the client is saying. He can advise, but he can't go against the client. So the answer is what? Option B, advise the customer of the change in recommendation before accepting the order. Okay? What else we had done in fair dealing? We had done that you should communicate to the clients beforehand in what manner would you inform them about the change in recommendation, via mailer or via WhatsApp, okay, or via Telegram or via what? How will you inform? That process should be communicated to the client that this is how we'll communicate. You should follow the same process for all the clients. But of course, there are different levels of service, na gold, platinum, silver. So maybe you have some platinum members whom you also have the service of calling and telling as soon as that changes. So over here you mail and 5 members, platinum members you call. That's possible because you charge them more and that's known to everybody. Na? They could have taken the platinum service. So differential level of service could be there, communicated. But everything should be fair, transparent. Okay? Next. So look at the answers that the CFA Institute gives. They give first paragraph, the standard, why this is the answer, why these are not the answers. Somebody feels that this is boring, sir, I'm not able to read it. In that case, you study the book, no? I am asking you not to study the book, but in that case you have to study the answers properly. My notes on the whole on ethics, if you compile together, might be hardly 5 or 10 pages. Anyways, ethics revision is so fast through my notes. I have not stretched, I have not elongated. I have written something in the bracket, I have written the question number in which that thing can be practiced. Okay? Next. 5A, conflict of interest. Conflict of interest. Have a look. Conflict of interest. For instance, suppose I am encouraging you all, let's assume that you are a level 3 candidates right now. This is a CFA level 3 class going on, and I am telling you all that you all should start investing a certain amount of money in share market. A very limited amount of money, depending upon your appetite, 20,000, 30,000, you should start investing. Okay? Then you say, sir, we don't know how to invest, we don't know how to open the brokerage account, which actually people know. But suppose, I'm just hypothesizing. It's okay, I have an association with a broker, say Angel Broking or Zerodha or whatever. So you can open the demat account through me. I should disclose that if you open a demat account through me, if that Zerodha or that Angel Broking is going to pass on commission to me, whatever trades happen, the brokerage generated, suppose I am going to get 40% commission. Maybe what I am recommending, Angel or Zerodha are the best. Maybe they are the best. Okay? But still, I should disclose to you that look, I am recommending Zerodha or Angel Broking, but remember, I am going to earn 40% commission. So then you will take a call that whether you want to believe me or not. Are you understanding? The point is disclose the conflict. Let the other party judge. We cannot say that, sir, although there was a conflict, I maintained my sachai. I maintained my honesty. Okay? But I did not disclose the conflict. You are not the one who will maintain your sachai. You do maintain, that's okay, but you disclose the conflict so that people can judge you the way they want to. Conflict has to be disclosed. Okay? Sorry. Only there are certain cases in which conflict has to be avoided. Disclosure will also not do. Conflict has to be avoided. Even disclosure will not do. Okay? That's when we do targets of research. The company on whom I am writing a research report, it is paying me big amount of money to write the research report. That goes totally against, because then that becomes like unacceptable. Anyways, question. Jamison is a junior research analyst with Howard & Howard, a brokerage and investment banking firm. So slow down. Jamison is an employee, junior research analyst with Howard & Howard. And Howard & Howard has two businesses, a brokerage business and an investment banking firm. If some of you don't understand, brokerage business would have clients whose portfolios is being managed, whose money is being invested in stocks. This is our interest. Investment banking is a work in which Howard & Howard raises funds for different companies. Some company wants to raise $500 million through a debt issue. Howard & Howard is the consultant. It earns fees. So there are two different businesses. Howard & Howard's mergers and acquisition department has represented Britland Company in all of its acquisitions for the past 20 years. So past relations of 20 years it has been doing business for Britland Company, investment banking business. Two of Howard & Howard senior officers are directors of various Britland subsidiaries. So another relationship. Number one, we are managing their business for the last 20 years. Number two, two of the senior officers of Howard & Howard are directors of Britland subsidiaries. Jamison has been asked to write a research report on Britland. What is the best course of action for her to follow? And we are writing a report on a company. That company gives investment banking business to our employer. That company's board, two of our senior officers sit on the board. There's a lot of... It seems that we will write a biased report. Because how can we write bad about such a close company which is giving us business for the last 20 years and on whose board two of our senior officials sit? But still we can maintain our independence, objectivity. Of course, I should write an unbiased report. But whether I'm writing an unbiased report or not, how will people judge? Nobody can judge. I should just disclose it to the masses that, look, this is the relationship and I'm still writing a report. Then let people judge. So many people are coming on the television recommending this stock, that stock every day. So many people are coming. Towards the end of the interview, it is asked, any disclaimer? And the disclaimer comes. Yes, at various points of time, I or my clients on proprietary or whatever may have had positions in those stocks. So in that case, whether you want to take his advice or not, it's your outlook, na? Conflict has to be disclosed. First option, Jennison may write the report, but refrain from expressing any opinion because of the special relationship between the two companies. He's saying, write the report, don't express an opinion. Second, Jemison should not write the report because the two Howard and Howard officers serve as directors for subsidiaries of Bretland. Don't write the report. Third, Jemison may write the report if she discloses the special relationship with the company in the report. Disclosure. What is it? Disclosure. You disclose and then you write. Let the people judge how honest you are, how trustworthy you are. The exception to this is sometimes when we had studied this portion somewhere, that in the independence objectivity portion, where the company has a policy, that the company will come out with only factual information about an entity for a certain period, say 3 months, because they are privy to price sensitive information about the company. So there's a company X about which our firm has price sensitive information because we are doing some IB deal for that company. So we know something which nobody knows. There's a problem now, we know something which nobody knows. So accordingly, at that point of time, see, if we know something good about the company X and we're writing a federal report, it is like encouraging people to trade on insider information. Because we are privy to insider information and we are saying it's a strong buy, this. How can we say all this? Because those are insider information. So what do we do? How can you write a report? Please understand the thing. You know some information about the company. If you write the report based on that information is material non-public information. You can't write the report. So what do? You will announce that no, we will not write a report. We will only publish factual information about the company for 3 months, because in 3 months we are privy to insider information about the company. So our writing anything is against law now. Are you getting me? But here it was not there. We were not privy to any insider information. We have a relationship with X because we have been handling their IB jobs and 2 of our senior officials sit on their board. So we just mention that and write the report. Okay? Next. Five A, I think the name given over here is not correct. What is 5A? Read. Diligence and reasonable basis. 5 is investment analysis, recommendations and actions, and 5A is diligence and reasonable basis. Okay? You know, all of you, that we are not required to remember numbers of the standards. We are not supposed to remember what is 5A, what is 5B, what is 5C. It is not a cheap exam like that. Okay, but we are supposed to, once the name is known, we are supposed to know the content. Know as in not produce the content, but to apply the content in a setting. So it was diligence and reasonable basis. Diligence and reasonable basis is about competency and trustworthiness. My dialogue today was, people want competent and trustworthy advice. So I am asking you, diligence and reasonable basis speaks about competence or trustworthiness. My language today was, people want competent and trustworthy advice. 5A says diligent and reasonable basis. This is about which part of my statement, competent or trustworthiness? Competent. It is not about trustworthiness. You should be diligent. I've given you a work, please do it diligently, thoroughly, And you should have a reasonable basis in saying buy or sell. It's about the competence part. Okay, let's see. Villiers is the research analyst responsible for following company X. Do you understand this language? If I am running a brokerage firm and you all are the analyst working for my firm, all of you are allocated jobs, no? You all three will look after that industry. You will look after that company. So William is the research analyst responsible for covering which company? X. All the information he has accumulated and documented suggests that the outlook for company's new product is poor. So the stock should be rated a weak hold. He has done the analysis, very bad, weak hold. If somebody is holding the stock, it's a weak hold. You may sell or you may just hold if you're not getting any opportunity. It's a negative opinion. During lunch, however, Villiers overhears a financial analyst from another firm, whom he respects, offer opinions that conflict with Villiers' forecast and expectations. Are you understanding? You are sitting on barbecue and on the other table, the other analyst from the other firm is sitting and he was praising that company. Company X, what great, what's going to happen? It's a strong hold according to me. He just overhears and he has a great respect for that analyst. Upon returning to his office, Villiers releases a strong buy recommendation to the public. So all your effort done for months is gone as a result of hearing this person. Of course, you regard him. That should raise suspicion on your thoroughness of the research. You should come over here, conduct a research again for 2, 3 days, 4 days. You look at it, revisit. You have done some calculation mistakes, some assumption mistakes, some modeling mistake. It's possible. You do that now, and then you come to a conclusion that no, I was wrong, he's correct. No, he's wrong, I am still correct. But just by listening to him, you come and you change your recommendation. Is this insider trading? No, there's no insider. These are opinions. These are opinions, but the point is that this is not how a professional behaves. This is not how a professional behaves. A professional person does his own research before telling to the masses something about it. We, as teachers, are also supposed to be professionals. What happens is that someday some student tells us, so you know, CFA examination test schedule had been changed from this to this. So this has happened. They have been deferred. We don't immediately announce it. We know what happens. We judge it, we see it, it's a correct communication or not, and then we announce it to the masses. A professional will always behave in that manner. An unprofessional person will jump on whatever he gets. You're understanding what I'm saying? So there is no reasonable basis to change the recommendation. It's not done. He will have to. Okay? Just one second. He had a weak hold, negative view, na? Williams had a negative view. If suppose he overheard the management of the company, or there was an analyst meet and the management was very confident that their profits are going to rise, earnings are going to rise. It was contrary to his belief. He attended a management conference of that company and the management said, we are very sure our earnings will rise, this will happen, that will happen. Guidance was given, which was against his forecast. Then also he is supposed to come and investigate. No prompt reaction. Nothing prompt. Take your time. Okay? Of course, the management is very important, but maybe they are biased. Otherwise, why frauds are taking place? Okay? Why corporate governance failures are taking place? Management is pressurized to ensure that the share price goes up or remains healthy. Otherwise, the shares that have been pledged by the promoters with the bank, they'll be taken off and sold. There's so much of pressure. When we did FRA, the last portion of FRA, and we talk about the fraud triangle, OPA, opportunities, pressures and attitudes. When will fraud occur? When there's an opportunity to conduct fraud. You're sitting over here, there's an opportunity. If you do some mischief below the desk, I will not be able to see. You know you will not be caught. Nobody will be able to catch you. Therefore you do the mischief because there's an opportunity. Pressure. If you don't do that, you will fail in the exam. So you are pressurized. Your parents have told you, no, you have to do this. You bring out that chat to see. Attitude. Everybody does it. Who's Harish Chandra? their mentality. These are the three things which actually are increasing the probability of fraud. When the attitude is everybody does it, when there's an opportunity to do it, and there's a pressure, you have to do it, otherwise dire consequences. I was talking about the management pressure. Okay, they know if they give an earnings guidance wrong, what will happen? They'll say that yes, we've misforecasted it. They'll not be, so negative consequences are not there. So there's an opportunity. They're pressurized because shares are pledged. The share price can go down. They want the shares not to go down. And attitude. Oh, everybody does it. You know, this company did it, this company did it. What's the issue? So even if the management says you come research, okay, because millions of people are going to rely upon your recommendation. How can you be less professional about it? Okay. Next. Independence and objectivity. Independence and objectivity, this is standard number, This is standard number 1B, independence and objectivity. Independence, he's talking more about the trustworthiness. Please provide independent advice. Suppose, in CFA, though I am teaching the entire thing. In CA, what happens is that SSEI has a line of faculties and other faculties are teaching other subjects. So you are taking one tuition from me for one subject. And then you come to me, sir, from whom should I take accounts tuition or from whom should I take cost tuition? Now, I am having a bias because I would recommend my teacher. So you add a word, so please, request you to please answer independently. Request you to please answer independently which teacher should I go for accounts tuition. Are you understanding the feeling? So they are saying that you should provide independent advice without being pressurized by anybody. Who will pressurize you? Number one, the person pressurizing you shall be the IB department. Which department? IB. Because the IB department is getting big business. It will pressurize you. Please write a good report. You are not supposed to be pressurized. Not at all. Okay? Targets of research. The company on whom you are writing a report, that will pressurize you indirectly by putting a red carpet wherever you walk. Okay? Sending a jet for you to fly to Australia where a normal thing can go. Giving you lavish hotel accommodation. Giving you what not. Not allowed. You are hurting your independence and objectivity. Even if people come to know about all this now. If people come to know about all this, that you who had written the report had enjoyed such lavishness from them, okay, they will have serious doubts over your independence and integrity. Token gift is okay. Pay your own way. You should pay your own transport. If the transport is some odd location where no public transport available, you can take their transport. Hotel accommodation modest, but pay your own way is the best thing. Token gift is allowed. When you are wanting to issue a sell recommendation, a sell, all the buy-side analysts in your firm will tell you not to issue the recommendation. You will issue a sell recommendation if the company is worth a sell. Independent and objective. Okay, let's see. An investment management firm has been hired by ETV Corporation to work on additional public offering of the company. Slow down. Investment management firm. A firm which manages investments of people. It has been given an IB job. What job? IB job. People now, you all should understand what is IB versus what is investment management. Investment management means they are clients. We take their money, we invest them in securities. We recommend them what to buy. That's investment management. IB is, there are companies which want to raise funds. We enable them to raise funds. We charge them fees. There are two different businesses. So investment management firm has been hired by a company to go for additional public offering, secondary public issue, not the IPO. After the IPO, once again, public issue. Okay? The firm's brokerage unit now has a sell recommendation on ATV. So right now, our firm has a sell recommendation. We believe that stock is bad. But the head of the investment banking department has asked the head of the brokerage unit to change the recommendation from sell to buy. He's saying, no, change it from sell to buy. According to the standards, the head of the brokerage unit would be permitted to. Head of the brokerage unit would be permitted to. The head of the brokerage unit. He's not asking about the research analyst. What the head of the brokerage unit should do. Options. Sorry. Increase the recommendation by no more than one increment. All that stupidity. He's saying that don't do totally, but yield partially. Place the company on a restricted list and give only factual information about the company, because right now you'll be dealing with the company. Assign a new analyst to decide if the stock reserves a high rating. That's not done. Why new analyst? Okay, so you should go for option number what? B. There are other issues also over here. I think there should have been such firewalls between the two that one department cannot influence the other. It's not correct what's happening. We should report to our supervisor that what is happening, why is he pressurizing me? But all those things will not come in the multiple choice. No? Multiple choice will come what is written. You have to see out of the ones. So all those things may come into your mind. So it is wrong for the IB department. Yeah, it is wrong. It is wrong for the IB department. And I personally did not like place the company on a restricted list. Maybe the answer should have been, we will not yield to the request. We will do the research as per the research. That could have been right. But options have to be that way. No? So I have to think in the purview of the options. Okay. Standard 7B, our standards. 7 is the easiest of standards in the section, because 7A and 7B relates to you. What is your conduct? 7B reference to CFA Institute, CFA Designation and CFA Program. Reference to CFA Institute, CFA Designation and CFA Program. You understand what he's talking about? If you have cleared CFA Level 1, you can't write Rahul Agarwal, CFA Level 1. If you're writing Rahul Agarwal, CFA Level 1, you mean to say CFA Level 1 is a degree? You can write Rahul Agarwal, next line, CFA Level 1 passed. That's okay. How can I write Rahul Agarwal, CFA Level 1? Rahul Agarwal Class 1, Rahul Agarwal Class 2. CFA Level 1 is not a designation. So you can't use one part of CFA as a designation. Okay. You cannot use the word CFA before your name. It has to come after your name. Cannot be in a bigger font size. You cannot say I'm a CFA. You can say I'm a CFA charter holder. And that too, if you are a charter holder. To become a charter holder, you have to pass all the 3 examinations. You have to pass all the 3 examinations and submit 4 years full-time work ex. Then you are eligible to become a charter holder. And to continue remaining a member, you have to sign the professional conduct statement every year and pay the annual membership fees. If you stop paying the membership fees, you are still a charter holder but not a member. You can't use the CFA designation in front of your name if you have stopped paying the membership fees. I'm talking about factually what is written over there. Okay, in real life what you can do, that's a different thing. Okay, so all those things are there. As a result of your clearing CFA, 2 levels or 3 levels of CFA, you can't imply that obviously you are superior. Any such impliance is a unethical practice, unprofessional practice. Since I have cleared CFA with 90 percentile, okay, I'm obviously superior to other analysts. You can't. You can say I've cleared CFA in first attempt or with 90 percentile. That's okay. Don't imply anything. State the facts. Okay. In the examination, 7A, okay, 7A, in the examinations you are supposed to behave professionally. You cannot cheat, obviously, you cannot do anything of that sort. When the time is called, leave your pen. You leave your pencil, sorry. Leave your pencil. You cannot resort to any unfair means. You cannot share what came in the exam on social media with your friends, with your teacher, anybody. You cannot share what came in the exam. Can you say that the examination was very difficult? Yes. So I think the CFA Institute is having very wrong procedures for setting the examinations. Yes. CFA Institute whole process is wrong. Yes. Examination conductance is wrong. Yes. Criticize on whatever media you want to. There's no problem. Derogatorily don't use derogatory words, but you express an opinion about the program. The CFA program itself is bad, sir. It doesn't cover this. It should have been like this. It's okay, right? Okay. CFA level 2 complete, so 2/3 of CFA is complete. Not allowed. CFA level 3 examination given. Now to my CFA would be complete in 2 months and therefore I'll get the charter. Not allowed. How do you know you will pass? I know I've studied. Keep it in your mind. State the fact you have taken CFA L3 exam. Okay. Albert and Ty, who recently started their own investment advisory business. That's what I was saying. The beginning of this business is investment advisory, for which in India you have to pass the investment advisory exam. You have to take those 2 examinations, very easy examinations, and you get the investment advisory license to start that. Have registered to take the level 3 CFA examination. Registered. Albert's business card reads Judy Albert CFA level 2. He's using it as a designation. Gone. Ty has not put anything about CFA designation on his business card, but the promotional material that he designed for the business describes the CFA requirements, what is it required to do CFA program, and indicates that Ty participates in the CFA program and has completed level 1 and level 2 according to the standards. You know what? Albert has violated, Ty has not. (5) Communication with clients and prospective clients. When we are communicating with clients and prospective clients, we should communicate to them. I follow fundamental analysis or technical. How do I analyze a company? I look at their financials, I look at their management strength, I look at their this. What is my philosophy of investing? I should communicate to them. What are the other relevant information which are important? I should communicate to them. I should tell them that if you want a complete 100 pages write-up of my entire thing of investing, that's separately available. I'm ready to share. But here I'm sharing only the PPT, the main philosophies. Okay, communication with clients. And I should distinguish between fact and opinion. I know the stock will go up. How do you know? I think the stock will go up. Most probably the stock will go up because the company may get an order for this. The company will get an order for this and therefore the stock will go up by 20%. That's unprofessional. Distinguish between fact and opinion. So we have this question over here. Scott works for a regional brokerage firm. Stock works for a regional brokerage firm. He estimates that Walkton Industries will increase its dividend by 1.5. He estimates. He doesn't know. He estimates that Walkton will increase the dividend by $1.5 a share during the next year. That's your forecast, expectation. He realizes that this increase is contingent on pending legislation that would, if enacted, give Walkton a substantial tax break. There is some pending legislation. If that legislation is passed in favor of Walkton, in favor of the company, which company? Walkton Industries, then the company will get a huge tax break and therefore the company will increase the dividend by 1.5. I'm diverting, just one second. If you are a bit connected with market and market news, the TRAI, Telecom Regulatory Authority, has been very tight against Bharti Airtel and Vodafone. Okay? And asked them to pay huge sums of money, around 40,000, 60,000 crores for some past dues. They were of the impression, Vodafone and Bharti, that those dues will be waived off. But as a result of a letter issued by Reliance Industries explaining the entire stuff, TRAI took the call that no, they will charge 40 and 60,000 to this. In their quarterly report, Vodafone and Bharti Airtel have both come out with a statement that this decision by TRAI raises a question on the continuation of Bharti or Vodafone as a going concern. It's a very big issue. We're talking about Bharti closing down, Vodafone closing down. Are you understanding? That's very big issue. Who has given them 60,000 crore? All the banks, first of them being SBI. It is the first to take all the brunt when it happens. So SBI, PNB, Bank of Baroda, all have lined up to give them amount. So what will happen? They will lose 12,000, 14,000, 20,000 crores. Their capital will once again be gone down. Once again government will recapitalize them how many times? So they are putting that pressure tactics. Now I feel, suppose I am very, very closely watching the telecom sector, and I feel that as a result of the pressure, TRAI or government will make a move wherein it will say that the burden of 60,000 crore shall be shared by Government of India, the company Bharti, and customers. Say customers, the call rates will go up by 10 paise or whatever it is. 10 paise is too big in such a big country, na? 60,000 crore will come like anything. Okay, for every crore, for every call, if you are paying 10 paise more, that's more than sufficient. Okay, government will bear the burden and all that. Now, I believe this will come as an announcement. If this will come as an announcement, suddenly all that negativity is gone, and therefore they will increase the dividend and all that. Now, this is what I am expecting based on my judgment, but it is not necessary that this will happen. It's an opinion, correct? So I may recommend people to buy the stock because the stocks have fallen down on account of this going concern issue, that this is a contrary bet, please buy the stock because this is going to happen. Yes, I can tell them, but I cannot be using languages which are like saying that this will happen. I know it. Okay, over here. The US representative for Walkden's home district has told Scott that although she is lobbying hard for the bill and prospects for its passage are favorable, concern of the US Congress over the federal deficit could cause the tax bill to be voted down. Government over here in India is also having a huge fiscal deficit. Due to the slowdown, tax revenues are still low. So how will the government be able to bail out Bharti or Vodafone? So that's the problem going on. Walkden Industries has not made any statement about the change in dividend policy. They have not made a statement that we are going to increase the dividend. Scott writes in his research report, we expect Walkden stock to rise by at least $8. A student who is immature, he catches words. A student who is mature, he doesn't catch words. He catches sentences and the understanding. You will say, sir, use the word expect. So an immature student will only look at the word. You said expect should be used. We expect Walkden stock price to rise by at least $8 a share by the end of the year because dividend will increase by 1.5 a share. Dividend will increase. This is a statement given not as an opinion. It is given as a fact. Investors buying the stock at the current time should expect to realize a total return of at least 15% on the stock. That's a very hard statements used. According to the standards, Scott violated the standard because he used material inside information. Did he use material inside information? No. It was all opinion going on. He has not used material inside information. Scott violated the standard because he failed to separate opinion from fact. Yes. Scott violated the standard by basing his research on uncertain predictions of future government actions. There are some foolish people who will take point number C because they believe that, yes, uncertain government actions. How can he write a report based on uncertain government actions? All research reports are based on uncertainties. All research reports, there's not a single research report which is not based on uncertainty. What the government will do, how the economy will fare, what the company will do, how much sales will occur. But will be heights of stupidity if somebody takes option number C. That, sir, there was uncertainty. How can you write a report? So, have you lost your mind? There's uncertainty everywhere. Research reports are written in the middle of uncertainty. Nothing is known. Okay? Four B, additional compensation arrangement. Additional compensation arrangement, which means you are working for company X, employer X, and in the weekends, you are working for company Y, so that your income goes up. From our point of view, you'll feel that, sir, he's so sincere. Monday to Friday he works over there, Saturday, Sunday he works extra work. He drives Uber. You're working from 10 to 8 and at night you are driving Uber. Such a sincere person. Let's not go to that part. Let's understand that you are paid by company X. It makes you do intellectual work. From 8 to 8, you work for the company. Then you go and drive Uber. And then you come morning 8. In what condition you also know? Because you are not He-Man, you are human. The company never thought you will do all this. You are not allowing the company to take advantage of your skills, your potential, your body, everything. That's being disloyal to your employer. No, sir. Our family has a heredity. We are very strong. We can sleep for only 2 hours and still we are fresh. Maybe. I'm very, very strong. I can sleep for only 2 hours and still I am fresh. My employer knows it, sir. Oh. So you have a written permission from your employer, na? And also from Uber, that you are doing this, driving the car whole night, working this. You should have written permission, informed all parties involved about your additional compensation arrangement. Doesn't matter whether it conflicts with your employer. So I'm doing something which is not against my employer. For example, suppose there's some teacher who is teaching at SSCI, Monday to Friday. Saturday, Sunday he's teaching at his home tuitions. He's teaching the same subject which teaching is at SSCI. That's conflict of interest. Because he might be pulling students. They don't know, you don't do tuition over here, you come at home, I'll charge you lesser. That's grave concern. No, but the 2 days that he's teaching physics, chemistry. That is not against me because physics, chemistry, SSCI doesn't teach. But I may believe that as a result of his applying his brain in physics, chemistry, he knows less accounts. He'll forget about accounts. I believe I'll not allow him. So you are a bad person. That point is not going on. The point that is going on is that if you have an additional compensation arrangement, you got to seek permission from your employer in writing. And to those physics, chemistry students or that I'm teaching over here, everybody should know in writing that this happened. Additional compensation arrangement. Okay? So in classes, why did we take 6 classes to complete these portions? Because in classes we did a number of questions and we did a number of stories and explanations of this type. Because we understand only when things are opened out. And today the many people are listening it live, therefore I'm not using a lot of Hindi in between. I'm deliberately using only English. Okay? But otherwise, when the Hindi juice comes in between, things become more exciting to listen to all this. Jurgen is a portfolio manager. One of our firm's clients has told Jurgen that he will compensate her beyond the compensation provided by a firm on the basis of capital appreciation of portfolio each year. I am portfolio manager. You, a particular client, has told me that I will pay you separately. Whatever the portfolio appreciates, I'll pay you 10% of that. Others have not told me. So I am working for this firm is paying me salary. for serving you all, and this client is saying, no, I'll pay you additionally. Are you understanding? So I'm teaching you all. Okay. And a student is telling me, sir, I'll pay you additionally 40,000. The fees I have paid to SSCI, I'll additionally pay you 40,000. Okay. But there will be a separate contact between us every day, 4 doubts. Whatever it is, when I'm trying to say that a separate favor he's wanting from me, and I'm an employee of SSCI, I can do this. Yes, it's allowed, provided I get the permission in writing from what? SSCI. Okay? Because let the employer, because SSCI stake is involved now. If other students get to know that I'm showing favoritism towards certain students, if they are doing some favor to me, if he's okay, SSCI is okay with this, it's okay. Okay? So, what is written? Jurgen should turn down the additional compensation because it will result in conflict with the interest of the client's accounts. I told in ethics first class, the most conservative answer is not always the correct answer. Let me just speak out what I'm trying to say. अभी जब से ethics बोलते जा रहे हो, रियल लाइफ में कुछ भी नहीं होता अपने, सबको पता है, तो प्रैक्टिकल लगाए तो कुछ और ही हिसाब किताब है. तो आदमी का सोचता है ओके उल्टा सोचना है, सबसे टाइट रहना है, सबसे टाइट, वो भी गड़बड़ है. You have to be very, very clear. Okay, if you build a bias towards something, now you will do line say questions wrong. You will feel turn down the additional compensation because it will result in conflict with the interest of the client's account. Second, turn down the additional compensation because it will create undue pressure on her to achieve strong short-term performance. All the languages are enticing you because the first is saying, usse mat lo, don't take it from him, because otherwise you will not be fair to the other clients. Sahi bol raha hai. Second, turn down the request because as a result you will be pressurized that I have to perform. This is also enticing you. Third is obtain permission from our employer prior to accepting the compensation arrangement. So what about, sir, logic number A, logic number B? This logic is left to the employer to decide. The employer will decide na, the permission to be given or not. You are thinking that A and B are also correct. Employer is also intelligent. He understands that this guy is going to take additional. He's going to favor him. If his phone is there, other's phone is there, leave now. You understand? This guy is going to be pressurized. So you will feel that why A and B is not the answer. A and B is gone to the court of the employer. He will take a decision and decide whether the permission should be given or not. You don't think that far. Are you getting my logic? Okay. Next, question number 48. Standard 3A, loyalty, prudence and care towards the client. Loyalty, prudence and care. You have to be loyal to the client, prudent and careful while advising him. Okay? Members and candidates have a duty of loyalty to their clients and must act with reasonable care and exercise prudent judgment. Members and candidates must act for the benefit of their clients and place the client interest before the employer and before their own. One of the discretionary accounts managed by Farnsworth is Jones Corporation Employees Profit Sharing Plan. One of the discretionary accounts managed by Farnsworth is the Jones Corporation Employee Profit Sharing Plan. The language becomes heavy. Discretionary account, which means an account in which the firm decides where to invest, not the client. Managed by Farnsworth is the company which manages. Jones Corporation's Employees Profit Sharing Plan is a pension plan. Employee Profit Sharing Plan is a pension plan in which the employees are the beneficiaries. Employees are the beneficiaries. The company president, okay, Jones, the company president, recently asked Farnsworth to vote the shares in the profit sharing plan in favor of the slate of directors nominated by Jones Corporation and against the directors sponsored by a dissident stakeholder group. Difficult language. He's saying that right now there is a fight going on in Jones company. There is some group of shareholders, dissident, who are wanting to remove the board of directors. So there will be a voting by the shareholders. Whom do you want? Do you want the existing board of directors, or do you want to remove them and take the new board of directors? So the existing Jones, he will appeal to the shareholders, now please vote in our favor. Existing board of directors. Okay? So Jones knows that Farnsworth is managing the employees' profit sharing plan, huge number of shares held. So Jones told Farnsworth, please you vote in our favor, because you remember you are managing our plan only. You vote in favor of our directors, not against the dissident group. Now what are you supposed to do? You are supposed to say, in the interest of the employees of the company, which directors are better, the existing directors or the new slate of directors. And you are supposed to take a call with the view of the benefit of the company and the benefit of the employees, not that Jones who is the CEO. You're not supposed to listen to the existing management or existing board of directors. They are not your client. Your client are the beneficiaries of the plan. Understood? Farnsworth does not want to lose this account because he directs all accounts trades to a brokerage firm that provides Farnsworth with useful information about tax-free investments. So this is very, very difficult language. He says that Farnsworth does not want to lose this account. Say Jones becomes angry. Jones becomes angry. We vote against those directors. Jones becomes angry. He'll say, you will not manage. Somebody else will manage. So Farnsworth doesn't want to lose the account. One more reason why he doesn't want to lose, because whatever buying and selling is done for the account, that is done through a broker. And the broker provides research on some other tax-free investments. If you are not understanding, there is a Jones Corporation which has an employee sharing plan, 500 crore funds, which is managed by Farnsworth, investment in shares and all that. Investment also in the employer company stock. The employer is saying, please vote in my favor director. Okay, Jones should vote, not necessarily in favor of his directors, but maybe against it, depending upon which is suitable. Now, why does Jones is afraid? Because Jones feels if he becomes, Farnsworth. If Farnsworth feels that Jones will become angry and remove the account, then Farnsworth will no longer receive the research that the brokerage house provides regarding some tax-free investments. Brokerage house provides soft dollars. Okay, it provides research on some tax-free investments. That is also gone. Because why does the brokerage house provide? Because Farnsworth passes on the trades to the broker. So you are Jones, I am Farnsworth, you are Jones, I am Farnsworth, these are the employees. You are the brokerage firm. Jones, employees, Farnsworth, brokerage. Okay? These are my clients. You are not my client, but you are representing them. So you tell me to favor you. I am afraid if I don't favor you, you will take away the account from me. As a result of it, I'll stop earning. Number one. Number two, your trades, the shares buying, selling, I do it with this broker. So this broker is happy, he earns commission, he gives me some research on some tax-free investments. That will also stop. Although this information is not of value in managing Jones Corporation account, it does help in managing several other accounts. The research that comes does not benefit these people, benefit somebody else. The brokerage firm providing this information also offers the lowest commission for trades and provides best execution. This broker charges the lowest commission, provides best execution. So he provides research, that's okay, but it's not that he's inferior. He's superior. Farnsworth investigates the director issue, concludes that the management nominated slate is better for the long run performance of the company. Farnsworth, I conduct an investigation and I conclude these directors are better. Okay, you were asking me to vote in favor of you all. I conclude that yes, you all are better. And votes accordingly, You're getting my point? So there are issues raised now, that maybe he voted in favor of the directors because he was self-interested, he was earning the business, plus he was getting research from over there. But that's not true. Because number one, the broker research, the broker is the best, lowest cost, best execution. And number two, he carried out an investigation. Now, what is benefit for the long run performance of the company, and the conclusion is what is good for the company is the existing management. He has concluded. Are you understanding? Sometimes it happens na, somebody is telling you, please do this. They say, you are a judge, I told you, I am a victim, please take decision in my favor. You looked at the entire case and concluded that yes, you should take decision in my favor. Is it possible or not possible? Possible. You investigated. Just because you took decision in my favor and I had told you take decision in my favor does not mean that you took a wrong decision. मैंने आपको बोला था मेरे फेवर में लो, आपने इन्वेस्टिगेट करके पता लगाया ऐसा आप ही तो सही है, आपके फेवर में ही लेना चाहिए, तो कोई इश्यू नहीं है. समझ गया मेरा बात? तो इसका लैंग्वेज बहुत डिफिकल्ट है, इसको पढ़ने में हालत खराब होगा. द एंटायर लैंग्वेज विच इज देयर. तो आंसर इट डिड नॉट वायलेट द स्टैंडर्ड्स in voting the shares in the manner requested by the Jones or in directing trades to the brokerage firm. दोनों ही तरह से ये कोई वायलेशन नहीं है, एकदम सही है. अगर ऐसा होता कि जो ब्रोकरेज फर्म है वो ज़्यादा कॉस्ट चार्ज करता है, खराब फर्म है, फिर भी हम लोग उसी को सौदा देते हैं, क्यों? बिकॉज वो अपने को रिसर्च प्रोवाइड करता है, ये गलत है. फिर भी फर्स्ट वाला राइट होता कि मैनेजमेंट को सपोर्ट किया बिकॉज मैनेजमेंट सही था, पर सेकेंड पार्ट गड़बड़ हो जाता कि ब्रोकरेज फर्म को क्यों डायरेक्ट करते हैं. वी आर नॉट बीइंग लॉयल टू आवर क्लाइंट्स. क्लाइंट का सौदा मेरे को बेस्ट ब्रोकर के पास देना चाहिए, बेस्ट क्लाइंट के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से, लो कॉस्ट बेस्ट एग्जीक्यूशन, नॉट बिकॉज ब्रोकर मेरे को कुछ प्रोवाइड कर रहा है. अंडरस्टूड? 3C सूटेबिलिटी. सूटेबिलिटी, एक स्टॉक बढ़िया है तो सबके लिए सूटेबल नहीं है. CFA प्रोग्राम सबके लिए सूटेबल नहीं है. क्या ग्रेट प्रोग्राम है सर, इसे इन्वेस्टमेंट बैंकिंग करिए बन सकता है, पोर्टफोलियो मैनेजमेंट. दैट डज नॉट मीन दैट इट इज सूटेबल फॉर एवरी कॉमर्स स्टूडेंट. ओके, वन हैज टू सी दैट किसी का पर्सपेक्टिव क्या है, कैश फ्लो क्या है, क्या नहीं है, क्या चीज में इंटरेस्ट है, उसके हिसाब से तो एडवाइस होगा ना कि हाँ तुम्हारा इंटरेस्ट अगर फाइनेंस में है, यू वांट टू गेट इनटू दिस, यू हैव अ 3 year horizon, 2 year horizon, डू द प्रोग्राम. आई कैन नॉट जस्ट say that is the program everybody should do. So suitability, a good program may not be suitable for all the students. A good stock may not be suitable for all the clients. You got to check the suitability of the client, risk objective, return objective, constraints, and then advice. Brown works for an investment counseling firm. Green, a new client of the firm, is meeting with Brown for the first time. For the first time. तो ब्राउन कौन हो गया? इन्वेस्टमेंट काउंसलिंग फर्म, इन्वेस्टमेंट मैनेजमेंट फर्म के लिए काम करता है. ग्रीन, अ न्यू क्लाइंट इज मीटिंग ब्राउन फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम इज इंपॉर्टेंट. ओके, फर्स्ट टाइम में किसी के बारे में सब कुछ जानना पॉसिबल नहीं है. ग्रीन यूज्ड अनदर काउंसलिंग फर्म फॉर फाइनेंशियल एडवाइस फॉर इयर्स, बट शी हैज स्विच्ड हर अकाउंट टू ब्राउन्स फर्म. वहां से डिससेटिस्फाइड होकर अब यहां आ गए. आफ्टर स्पेंडिंग अ फ्यू मिनट्स गेटिंग acquainted, Brown explains to Green that she has discovered a highly undervalued stock that offers large potential gain. She recommends that Green purchase the stock. It's gone. 5 मिनट हाई हेलो हुआ है और तुम उसको बोल रहा है ये वाला स्टॉक बाई करो. तुमने कुछ समझा ही नहीं उसका रिस्क एपेटाइट क्या है, उसका वेल्थ क्या है, क्या नहीं है. Brown has committed a violation of standards. What should she have done differently? Brown should have determined Green's needs, objectives and tolerance for risk before making a recommendation of any type of security. ठीक है, पहले उसको समझना चाहिए था, उसके बाद recommendation चालू करना चाहिए था. Suitability. ठीक है, very easy one. Gray recommends द परचेज ऑफ म्यूचुअल फंड्स. क्या चीज के ऊपर है? मिसरिप्रेजेंटेशन. मिसरिप्रेजेंटेशन मतलब मिसरिप्रेजेंटेशन था, प्लीज गलत रिप्रेजेंट मत करो. इफ यू नो समथिंग से व्हाट यू नो, डू नॉट स्पीक थिंग्स अबाउट विच यू डोंट नो. सपोज यू आर एन इक्विटी एनालिस्ट, आई नो अ लॉट अबाउट डेट, डोंट से दैट. यू नो अबाउट लार्ज कैप, डोंट से दैट आई एम अ चैंपियन इन मिड कैप्स. You're using somebody else's research report. That's plagiarism. दूसरे का कट कॉपी पेस्ट करके दिखा रहे हैं, अपना है. जैसे मैंने बोला ये क्वेश्चन CFA इंस्टीट्यूट के, I never said these questions are mine. But if I'm saying that आज कल रात को बैठ के पूरा मेहनत से तुम्हारे लिए questions बनाया है और है cut copy paste, that's what plagiarism. Give credit where credit is due. Cite sources from which you have taken things. ठीक है, जो बुक्स देते हैं आप लोग को कहीं पे उस पे SSCI का नाम नहीं है, आपने उनको गौर नहीं किया होगा, चेक करना. It's not written anywhere. In the entire book, front cover, back cover, inside cover, nowhere it's written. Okay? So, they say don't misrepresent your abilities, don't take credit for others' work, don't take credit for others' work. ठीक है? और उसके बाद अगर आप कोई इन्वेस्टमेंट्स बता रहे हो ना, वो इन्वेस्टमेंट्स अगर रिस्की है, don't tell people that you will definitely earn 20% on it. Don't give guarantees where guarantees are not there. अभी PMC बैंक लूटा ना, PMC बैंक महाराष्ट्र, तो उस पर डिपॉजिट होल्डर्स लोग बहुत परेशान हुए. 1 लाख रुपीस तक का डिपॉजिट इंश्योरेंस होता है. जो ये अपना बैंक में पैसा पड़ा हुआ है ना, उसे 1 लाख तक का इंश्योर्ड है. 1 लाख. आई बात हो रहा है बिकॉज ऑफ द PMC बैंक फ्रॉड, डिपॉजिट इंश्योरेंस को रेज करके 2 लाख करना. क्या करना? 2 लाख. देयर इज अ टॉक अबाउट इट. तो उतना ही तो गारंटी बोल सकते हैं अपने, जितना गारंटी इन्वॉल्व है. वी कांट से यू पुट मनी इन बैंक डिपॉजिट्स, इट्स इंश्योर्ड. मिसरिप्रेजेंटेशन. इट्स इंश्योर्ड अप टू 1 लाख. यू बाय गवर्नमेंट सिक्योरिटीज, नो चांस ऑफ डिफॉल्ट. सही बोला, गवर्नमेंट विल नॉट डिफॉल्ट. यू बाय गवर्नमेंट सिक्योरिटीज, यू विल डेफिनेटली अर्न 20%. मिसरिप्रेजेंटेशन. You buy government securities, there is no risk. Misrepresentation. Default is not there, other risks are there. Interest rate risk, bond prices go up and down. Okay? You're representing your firm, you're saying that in our firm, all investment analysts are CFA charter holders. Are they? Then it's okay. If they are not, why are you saying? Most of them are CFA charter holders. Are most of them? Okay, say. Since most of them are CFA charter holders, we are top. Violation of 7. Violation of standard 7. Okay? Gray recommends the purchase of a mutual fund that invests solely in long-term US Treasury bonds. A mutual fund which invests in long-term US Treasury bonds, Treasury, government. He makes the following statements to his clients. People, you all should invest in this mutual fund. Why? Because the payment of the bond is guaranteed by the US government. Therefore, the default risk of the bond is virtually zero. True. And why did he use the word virtually zero? He should have said zero. Even governments have defaulted in the history of mankind. Even governments have defaulted. Russian government had defaulted. Okay? The world will come into a very bad state when the US government defaults. We don't know what will happen on that day when the US government defaults. Number 2, if you invest in the mutual fund, you will earn a 10% rate of return each year for the next several years based on historical performance of the market. You can't say. That's wrong. So only statement 2 is violated the code and standards. Independence and objectivity, once again, we had discussed it earlier. Maintain your independence while giving a report. Ward is scheduled to visit the corporate headquarters of Evans Industries. Is scheduled to visit. As a part of our analysis, do we visit companies? Yes. We visit companies, we meet management, we go to their factories, we do what not, we visit their competitors. Research is not only an annual report, PL account and doing ratio analysis. It's much above that. The true research. Ward expects to use the information he obtains there to complete his research report on Evans stock. Okay? Ward learns that Evans plans to pay all of Ward's expenses for the trip. Pay your own way. Why will it pay? Because if it pays, you will be like pressurized to write a good report, na? Including cost of meals, hotel room, air transportation. Which of the following actions would be the best course of action for Ward to take under the code and standards? What is it? Pay for all travel expenses, including cost of meals and incidental items. No, sir, what if I take the payment from them, but I disclose in the report that I've taken the payment? Not allowed. For the targets of research, you cannot say that, sir, I took the accommodation from them, I took the air flight from them, but when I wrote the report, I wrote niche, remember I have taken travel from them. That's an exception. For the targets of research, you don't take anything from them except token gift. Okay, disclosure was regarding other relationship which you may be having. I'm writing this report, but remember my wife holds 1,000 shares of the company. That's okay. You're disclosing your conflict of interest. You can write the report. Next. Conflict of interest. Also we had studied earlier. Disclose all conflict. Smith is a financial analyst with XYZ brokerage firm. She is preparing a purchase recommendation on JNI Corporation. Which of the following situation is most likely to represent a conflict of interest for Smith that has to be disclosed? So I'm writing a research report, purchase recommendation. Out of the three, which one should I disclose? Smith frequently purchases items produced by NI. Are you understanding? I'm writing a research report on Reliance Industries. Have I got to write in the report, I use Geo service? I'm writing a research report on Nestle and I buy Maggie every week for my kids. Do you think a person who buys Maggie every week, therefore he'll write a good report on Nestle? Common sense not required. B. XYZ holds for its own account a substantial common stock position in JNI. My employer holds a substantial stock position in that company. So as a result, people should know that he's working for JP Morgan and JP Morgan holds a substantial stake in Reliance Industries. It should be indicated. That's a conflict of interest. Smith's brother-in-law is a supplier to JNI. Normally we believe self, I means my spouse, immediate family who stays with us. Now let's not go into that. So what if the brother-in-law stays with him? Illogical talks will not do. So B is the answer. This is standard number 4B, priority of transactions. If there's a hot IPO, some hot offering, limited shares available, would you buy it for your own? No. You'll buy it for the client. After the client, employer. After the employer, self. And if you can buy, was it hot? You didn't understand. There's a hot offering, it was scarce. I said you should first buy for the client, then the employer, then self. I think then self speaking it common sense wise illogical. Because if it was hot, it was scarce, self will not come. So sir, I will not buy. You will not buy. Priority of transaction. First client, then employer, then self. And within the client's fair dealing, everybody should get an opportunity, pro rata. Rose, a portfolio manager for local investment advisory firm, is planning to sell a portion of his personal investment portfolio to cover the cost of his child's academic tuition. Is he allowed? Yes. I write research report. I also invest in shares. That's okay. I want to sell the shares because I have to pay tuition fees for my child. Rose wants to sell a portion of the holdings in household products, but his firm recently upgraded the stock to a strong buy. Oh, I want to sell the stock about which my firm has a strong buy recommendation. So what will the world say? That look, this firm is telling the world, strong buy, the stock should be bought. And the analyst of this firm is selling the stock. Are you understanding? BJP is in favor of Ayodhya temple and all that. And one of BJP's candidate is saying that perhaps the court should have... It's like that way going on. Okay, just to give you the feeling why this question is raising. But his firm recently upgraded the stock to strong buy. Which of the following describes Rose's opinion about the code and standards? See, if he has a stock and he wants to sell because he requires money, what can be done? Don't you think that we sell stocks quite often, even though they are good stocks, because we require money? They are good stocks, good properties. This property will go up, I know, in 10 years' time. But today I need money. I have to sell now. Nothing can be done. So Rose can sell. Rose is free to sell his personal holding once his firm is properly informed of his intentions. He can inform the firm that strong buy, but I am selling because I need money. That's okay, fine. That can be explained. (3D) performance presentation. Performance presentation. This is the GIPS part, GIPS. If I am making a performance presentation to you all, the last 20 years of my teaching for the CFA program, so I will highlight over here this student, you know, he studied from me in 2001, and right now he is managing funds of 5,000 crores at this mutual fund. This student, he used to stay in Park Street. Okay? He has failed and I made him pass. I made his career. So I'll cherry pick and show you the 10 students with a lot of stories and all that regarding what happened and what not, how he used to behave, and all of you will be brilliantly impressed. So I'm doing cherry picking. What about the thousands of students that have failed after studying with me? Okay, I will show you the performance of a particular course. Say the CFA Level 2. These 100 students, the sheet is being shared with you. You call them and ask, they've all passed. I'll show, doubt they all passed. 100 students joined, 90 students passed. So what about CFA Level 3? So what about some other course? So I'm now cherry picking a particular area where I did well. Understood? Some students have only taken mock papers from me. They purchased mock papers. But they did very well. I'm showing their performance also. Their performance is actually my performance or their own? Their own, nah. Somebody's buying only mock papers with me. Suppose today we announce all a free mock test, by doing a lot of advertisement we announce. If you take this mock test, you will be brilliantly prepared. Please take the mock test. There will be guidance after that. You'll get free this and that. People come who are not taking classes. Now, once they come and they pay 100 rupees, say they are in my register, I can legally announce they're my student. And I'm trying to say, but that's a non-discretionary portfolio in which they are actually studying on their own self. So, you know, this happens everywhere. And in the investment industry, it's bound to happen. I will try to cherry pick portfolios, clients who have done well. Performance presentation. I'd use the word in class, FACT, fact, fair, accurate, complete, transparent. Give the complete picture. Do not cherry pick. Transparent. Do not hide. Okay? If I am saying my results in CFA Level 1 is 80%, maybe I am doing the calculation what? Number of students who passed through my class divided by number of students whose, I was going to say something I'm now improving. Nowadays classes take place in what manner? You get all the classes at home. Whenever you are watching the classes, we are getting an update of what is your view count, how many classes you have watched. So I believe I am responsible only for those students who have watched all the classes. So if 1,000 students took the classes, I got to know 720 watched all the classes. So 720 watched all the classes, and the past students are, say, 640. So I'm dividing 640 by 720, not 640 by 1,000. So I should be clear, na, in terms of how am I doing the calculation of my pass percentage. I may justify that. See, if you don't hear my classes, how am I responsible? But whatever it is, it should be clear. So performance presentation, GIPS portion is about that only. How are you calculating? Is it unbiased calculation? Are you cherry picking, showing the complete picture, showing all composites, this and that? Performance presentation is about GIPS, GIPS. Papers was recently terminated as, paper. I thought, how is paper terminated? He's a person. Paper was recently terminated as one of a team of 5 members of an equity fund. So out of 5 members, he was thrown away. The fund has 2 value-focused managers and terminated one of them to reduce cost. Okay, there's a value fund, there's a growth fund. Value fund, there were two managers. They terminated one of them because they wanted to reduce cost. In a letter sent to prospective employers, now paper is sending letters to prospective employees, you will find another job now. Paper presents with written permission of the firm the performance history of the fund to demonstrate his past success. Are you understanding what's happening? You have lost your job with X firm. Now you are sending your proposals to Y firm, Z firm, and in that firm you are sending what you did at this firm with my permission. With my permission. So if you took my permission, loyalty to employer is there. Loyalty to the employer is there, that's okay. However, was that work done by you or by you and your friend? That entire research value fund was done by you alone or by you and your friend? Two people were there, no? The value fund was managed by you and another guy. So it was a teamwork. And you are presenting as if the work was your own. It's a wrong presentation. Are you understanding? Four of you do a job, a presentation PPT, and you stand over there and boast that this is the work done by me. It's a team effort, no? It's a wrong performance presentation. Paper violated the code by claiming the performance of the entire fund as his own. (7A), your area. Park is very frustrated after taking the CFA Level 2 exams. Most people are. While she was studying for the exam, to supplement the curriculum provided, she ordered and used study material from a third-party provider. So when she was studying, somewhere around April, May, June ke just pehle, she took some materials of some other vendor, okay, from the websites and all. Say, she bought Spicer material in addition to the CFA Institute. Park believes the additional material focused her attention on specific topic areas that were not tested while ignoring other areas. Now Park believes उस मटेरियल से पढ़े ना और उस पे फोकस इस पे था और ये तो आया नहीं और बाकी फोकस नहीं था, हम फंस गए. You relied on those materials, the materials focused on such area, and those areas did not come, other areas came in which the material did not focus. She posts the following statement on the provider's discussion board. उसको ऐसे as a discussion board, she posts the following statement. I am very dissatisfied with your firm CFA program level 2 material, pathetic material. उसको ऐसे को बोल रही है. I found the exam extremely difficult and myself unprepared for specific questions after using your product. How could your service provide such limited instructional sources on the analysis of inventory and taxes, 2 chapters named, when the exam had multiple questions about them? फंस गई. गुस्से में बोलते हुए ये बता दी कि एग्जाम में इन्वेंट्री और टैक्सेस से बहुत सारा क्वेश्चंस आया था. एवरीथिंग वाज गोइंग वेल, बट बोलते बोलते भूल के ये बोल दी कि एग्जाम में 2 चैप्टर से बहुत क्वेश्चंस आया था. इसका मतलब आपने एग्जामिनेशन का इंफॉर्मेशन लीक कर दिया है. आई विल नॉट रिकमेंड योर प्रोडक्ट टू अदर कैंडिडेट्स. मत रिकमेंड कर भाई, तेरे से सब पूछ के ज्वाइन करेगा ना. तो वायलेशन कहाँ हो गया है? वो जो बता दी है 2 चैप्टर्स जिससे क्वेश्चंस आया था. Park violated the code and standards by purchasing third party review material. ये तो हाइट्स पे जा रहा है. बोला ली कैसे किसी और से ट्यूशन. Park violated the code and standards by providing her opinion on the difficulty of the exam. No, you can comment. Park violated the code by providing specific information on topics tested on the exam. This you can't. And that's the best thing about the CFA examination and global examination. Past papers are not available. And that's the biggest difference in Indian examination, which is worsening our entire education standards. All the partial preparations, okay, this is important, this is less important, the spoilage of the entire education system as a result of having all those. And this simple thing cannot be understood by educationists for so many years. I am rock surprised about what happens in India. And what mockery happens in CA examinations, there are some multiple choice questions in CA Foundation, and the paper is not allowed to be taken like CFA. It is not allowed to be taken like CFA. Perfect, good sir. After 2 days or 5 days of the examination, books are published, scanner houses and all, in which it is highlighted May 19 paper. That means corruption also. The questions are then sold to vendors so that the vendors can do their business. Next. Quinn sat for the level 3 CFA exam this past weekend. He updates his resume with the following statement. In finishing the CFA program, I improved my skills related to researching, investments and managing portfolio. भाई अभी तूने खत्म नहीं किया, लेवल 3 बैठा है. और ऐसे ऐसे लोग हैं जो लोग तो ये सोचते हैं लेवल 2 पास होने के बाद CFA तो हो ही गया. उनसे तो ये शरीफ ही है. ये तो लेवल 3 एग्जाम उसका बढ़िया गया होगा तब सोच रहे. I will be eligible for the CFA charter upon completion of the required work-ex. तो टोटल गलत बोल रहा है. ये इम्प्लाई कर रहा है कि CFA लेवल 3 पास कर गया एंड इज एन एलिजिबल चार्टर होल्डर. 4 years का वर्क-एक्स कहाँ गया? वो लिखा है क्या? हाँ, अपॉन कंप्लीशन, वो ठीक है. बट टू बी एलिजिबल फॉर द चार्टर, you have to clear the 3 examinations and also fulfill the 4 years work-ex requirement accepted by the CFA Institute. ठीक है? Quinn violated the code and standards by claiming he improved his skills through the CFA program. No, you can say, CFA करने से मेरा skills improve हुआ है. CFA करने से मैं बाकियों से तोप हो गया हूँ, वो नहीं है. और मेरा skills improve हुआ है definitely. Quinn violated the code and standards by incorrectly stating that he is eligible for the CFA charter. Yes. Quinn did not violate. The answer is what? B. फाइव सी रिकॉर्ड रिटेंशन. जो भी आपने काम किया है, रिसर्च रिपोर्ट दिया, उसका पूरा रेलेवेंट मटेरियल बैकअप आपके पास 7 साल तक रहना चाहिए. फर्म के पास, की फर्म का ड्यूटी है टू मेंटेन 7 years दिस थिंग बैकअप रिपोर्ट्स. कैनन हैज बीन वर्किंग फ्रॉम होम ऑन वीकेंड्स एंड बिकॉज कल के दिन फाइट होगा ना उससे, क्लाइंट से. क्लाइंट बोलेगा स्टॉक गिरा कैसे, तुमने बोला था भाई, तो अपने बोलेंगे भाई हम अंतर्यामी नहीं है, हम जो बोले थे वो ये स्टडी के बेस पे बोले थे, देख ले. और उस चोमू को ये भी दिखा देंगे कुछ स्टॉक्स हम सेल बोले थे पर तुम बाई किया और देख वो बढ़ गया. Cannon has been working from home on weekends and occasionally saves correspondence with clients and completed work on her home computer. समझे? ज़्यादातर काम बहुत जन का घर पे भी तो होता ही है ना. आज घर पे आज काम नहीं हो पाया ऑफिस में, घर पे करने ना कंप्लीट, बिकॉज तुमको तो कल सबमिट करना है ना. तो आप घर के लैपटॉप पे सिस्टम पे भी काम करते हो और सेव करते हो. क्या वो अनएथिकल है कि नहीं है? नहीं है. कोई भी पर्सन अगर काम कर रहा है तो घर पे भी कुछ फाइल्स उसके सेव्ड होगी, अनलेस एंड अनटिल एम्प्लॉयर का पॉलिसी है कि कुछ भी तुम्हारे घर पे नहीं होना चाहिए. ऐसा होता नहीं है. ठीक है? और वैसे तो पता ही आप लोग को, कंपनीज लोग खुद का ही लैपटॉप देती है विच हैव द इंटायर इंक्रिप्शन सच दैट नथिंग कैन बी डन आउट इन एंड आउट ऑफ इट. But even if that is not there, of course you do work at home and you save it on your laptop and all that. Because of worsening market conditions, Canon is one of several employees released by a firm. छोड़ दिया गया, उसको हटा दिया गया because recession चल रहा, slow down. While Canon is looking for a new job, she uses the files she saved at her home to request letters of recommendation from her clients. Okay? तो अब वो files को use कर रही है जो saved है. She also provides to prospective clients some of the reports as examples of her abilities. और पुराना reports भेज रही है. जब आपका काम छूट गया ना तो आपको वो सारा का सारा डिलीट कर देना चाहिए था. You should have deleted all the files once the job is gone. You cannot keep them and use them and forward them for getting a new job. You can't. ठीक है तो? And if you ask me, sir, can we do it with the permission of the employer? Then yes. But then if it was a team effort, वहाँ फंसेंगे. ये मेरा नहीं था, बता दो. ये मेरा टीम का था, मैं उस टीम का पार्ट था. ठीक है? So violate हो गए. Kannan violated the code because she did not receive permission from her employer to keep or use the files after her employment ended. Yes? Take the permission, then keep. C. Kannan violated the code and standard because she is prohibited from saving files on her home computer. That's not true. You are permitted to save files because if you are doing work at home. But when your employment ceases, are you allowed to keep it and use it and forward it? You got to have your employer's permission. ठीक है। डिलिजेंस एंड रीजनल बेसिस, हवा में रिसर्च मत करो, लॉजिकल बेसिस पे करो। Acuity Systems is an investment management firm that adopted the code and standards as part of the policy manual. कंपनी का अडॉप्ट किया हुआ है कि हम लोग कोड एंड स्टैंडर्ड्स फॉलो करेंगे। Gerald Smithson CFA has recently added the stock of advanced biochemical company and Norgood PLC to all of his clients' investment portfolios. Shortly afterwards, Advanced Biochemical and Norgood announced a merger. एक मिनट, ये गड़बड़ लगा, सबके क्लाइंट्स पोर्टफोलियो में ऐड कर दिया ये। ही एडेड दिस स्टॉक टू ऑल ऑफ हिज क्लाइंट्स पोर्टफोलियो, जो को सरप्राइजिंग लग रहा है, बिकॉज सूटेबिलिटी कहां गया? मैं सारे स्टूडेंट को सीएफए चेप दिया, सूटेबिलिटी कहां गया? ठीक है। Shortly afterwards, Advanced Biochemical and Norgood announced a merger that increased the share price of both the companies. गुमराह कर रहा है अपने को। I said the results don't justify. Smithson contends he saw the president of Advanced Biochemical dining with the chairman of Norgood. दोनों को देखा था रेस्टोरेंट में डाइन करते हुए, but did not overhear the conversation, केवल देखा था। Smithson researched both companies extensively, जोर का रिसर्च मारा, and determined that each company was a good investment. He put in a block trade for shares in each company. Acuity's policies were not clear in this area as he allocated the shares by starting with his largest client accounts and working down to the smallest accounts. लंबा जान रहा है, क्या बोल रहा है? अभी तक क्लियर है? एक पर्टिकुलर स्टॉक को रिसर्च के लिए पकड़े, दो स्टॉक को, और दोनों को सारे के सारे क्लाइंट्स अकाउंट्स में रेकमेंड कर दिए। क्यों किए? बिकॉज दोनों, और बाद में दोनों कंपनी मर्ज कर गया, शेयर का दाम बढ़ गया। एक्चुअली हुआ क्या था, दोनों कंपनी का सीईओ को डाइन करते हुए देखा था, सुना नहीं था, देखा था। एंड क्या बोलते हैं, उनके बारे में घर ऑफिस में आके जोर का रिसर्च किया दिनों तक, और कंक्लूड किया कि दोनों मर्ज नहीं करेगा। ये नहीं कंक्लूड किया ये कंपनी बढ़िया यार, ये कंपनी बढ़िया है, ठीक है। और उसके बाद ब्लॉक ट्रेड डाल दिया। ब्लॉक ट्रेड मतलब 50 लाख शेयर्स बाय, ब्लॉक ट्रेड, ठीक है, डाल दिया। अब ब्लॉक ट्रेड जो 50 लाख शेयर्स आ गया, वो सारे क्लाइंट्स को एलोकेट कैसे करे? एलोकेट 50 लाख शेयर्स आ गया, तुम लोग सबके अकाउंट में देना, कैसे एलोकेट करे? तो उसके लिए बोला कंपनी का पॉलिसी ही नहीं है एलोकेशन के बारे में, जो कि आश्चर्य की बात है। तो क्या किया, वो लार्जेस्ट क्लाइंट अकाउंट्स, जो पैसे वाले अकाउंट्स को पहले दिया है और छुटंगू लोग को बाद में दिया है, ठीक है। Some of Smith's clients were very conservative personal trust accounts. कुछ एकदम कंजर्वेटिव था, जिनका रिस्क एपेटाइट नहीं है, तो वो लोग तो चाहेंगे हम लोग का शेयर खरीद रहे क्यों है, बॉन्ड खरीदो, गवर्नमेंट सिक्योरिटी खरीदो। अदर्स आर पेंशन फंड्स हु हैड एग्रेसिव इन्वेस्टमेंट ऑब्जेक्टिव्स, दूसरे पेंशन फंड से चोर करने तैयार है। विच स्टैंडर्ड वाज नॉट ब्रोकन? 5A, डिलिजेंस एंड रीजनेबल बेसिस ब्रोकन हुआ है कि नहीं? लिखा वर्ड में, वो एक्सटेंसिव सर्च किया, ही इन्वेस्टिगेटेड एक्सटेंसिवली, इसका मतलब डिलिजेंस एंड रीजनल बेसिस था। उन लोग को बारबेक्यू में देख के आके बाई नहीं कर दिया, आके यहाँ मेहनत किया। बाकी में क्या किए थे, देखा सुना और आके यहाँ सीधा चेंज किया, एक्सटेंसिव रिसर्च किया। सो दिस हैज नॉट बीन वायलेटेड। आंसर विल बी ए। 4C, रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी ऑफ सुपरवाइजर। अजीब लग रहा है, सुपरवाइजर का काम होता है कि कंपनीज में पॉलिसीज एंड प्रोसीजर्स होना चाहिए। इस कंपनी में तो पॉलिसी नहीं है एलोकेशन का। अगर ब्लॉक ट्रेड हो गया, कैसे एलोकेट करेंगे, पॉलिसी नहीं। किसका फेलियर है? सुपरवाइजर का, उसका फेलियर है। यस, वायलेट हुआ है। 3C, सूटेबिलिटी, वायलेट हुआ है। सारे अकाउंट्स को चेप दिए। अरे कोई कमती रिस्क लेना चाह रहा है, कोई ज्यादा रिस्क, कहाँ गया वो? अंडरस्टूड? अगर ये बोलता इसमें क्या इनसाइडर ट्रेडिंग का वायलेशन है क्या, बोला नहीं, वो तो ऑप्शन मिला नहीं उसको। इनसाइडर ट्रेडिंग का वायलेशन है क्या? ये मोज़ैक थियरी है। मोज़ैक थियरी क्या था? नॉन मटेरियल नॉन पब्लिक इंफॉर्मेशन। नॉन मटेरियल मतलब फालतू, नॉन पब्लिक मतलब जो दुनिया को नहीं पता वैसा इंफॉर्मेशन, उसको दिखा वो लोग डिनर कर रहे हैं, पर ये तो फालतू इंफॉर्मेशन है। वाइल ट्रेडिंग टुमारो वुड यू नॉट लाइक टू नो कौन किसके साथ डिनर कर रहा है? तो नॉन मटेरियल नॉन पब्लिक इंफॉर्मेशन कंबाइंड विथ मटेरियल पब्लिक इंफॉर्मेशन, एनुअल रिपोर्ट, पीएल अकाउंट, रेशियो, फेशियो, एक्सटेंसिव, दोनों को मिला के फीलिंग आता है, उस फीलिंग पे ट्रेड करना अलाउड है. दैट्स नॉट इनसाइडर ट्रेडिंग. दैट इज नॉट इनसाइडर ट्रेडिंग. तो अगर पूछता है इनसाइडर ट्रेडिंग है कि यहाँ पे नहीं है, अंदर का खबर से ट्रेड नहीं किया, तो बोलेगा सर दोनों को डिनर देख के ट्रेड किया, वो मटेरियल नहीं है. ठीक है. Bob CFA works as an investment, नहीं, Bob Brownwell, CFA works as an investment manager at Mega Capital, a large multinational brokerage firm. Mega Capital is based in a country whose applicable law is stricter than CFA Institute code and standards, but does business with clients in a country whose applicable law is less strict than the code and standards. तो मेगा कैपिटल जो है वो जहाँ पे हेडक्वार्टर्ड है से यूएस, उनका रूल्स रेगुलेशन कोड एंड स्टैंडर्ड से भी ऊपर है. पर मेगा कैपिटल क्लाइंट्स को जहाँ सर्व करता है, ओके, जैसे पाकिस्तान का, वहाँ का रूल्स रेगुलेशन जो है वीक है. ठीक है. Bonneville decides to follow the requirements of the code and standards for clients in the less strict country. तो Bonneville ने डिसाइड किया मैं कोड एंड स्टैंडर्ड्स को पाकिस्तान में यूज़ करूँगा. जबकि कोड एंड स्टैंडर्ड्स का बाप कौन है? यूएस वाला. इस क्वेश्चन में यू हैव टू फॉलो द स्ट्रिक्टर स्टैंडर्ड्स. या 3 स्टैंडर्ड्स हो गया. एक उस कंट्री का जहाँ मेगा कैपिटल है, जो सबसे स्ट्रॉन्गेस्ट है, फिर कोड एंड स्टैंडर्ड, और फिर पाकिस्तान का. यू हैव टू फॉलो द स्ट्रिक्टेस्ट. गड़बड़ हो चुका है. While Bonneville is still employed at Mega, Legal Associates verbally asks Bonneville to review client portfolios during evenings and weekends for a fee. Additional compensation arrangement. Weekend में मेरा भी काम कर देना ना यार. Bonneville gets written consent from his immediate supervisor at Mega to undertake this independent activity for a 1-month trial basis. Permission ले लिया written. ठीक है. पहला वाला पार्ट गड़बड़ कर दिया. वो जो पाकिस्तान में CFA इंस्टीट्यूट का कोड एंड स्टैंडर्ड्स यूज़ कर रहा है वो गलत कर रहा है, बिकॉज उसके ऊपर कौन है? यूएस वाला. वो यूज़ करना चाहिए था. Which of the following statements about Bonneville's actions regarding Standard 1A, okay, knowledge of law, professionalism, and Standard 5A, loyalty, is most accurate? Violated both 1 and Standard 4A. कौन सा वायलेट किया है? 1 कौन सा है? Professionalism. You are supposed to follow the strictest standards, but you have followed the middle one. और 4A क्या है? Loyalty. Loyalty कैसे आ गया? ओए, क्या एम्प्लॉयर के अगेंस्ट में गया है? नहीं, कंसेंट लिया है उससे. नॉट अ वायलेशन ऑफ लॉयलिटी. तो वायलेटेड 1 बट नॉट वायलेट 4A. Gerber CFA is a regular contributor to the internet site Wise Guy. Okay, contributor, blog लिखता होगा. This past week, Gerber has been incorrectly quoted as recommending that investors buy shares in Bradford Incorporation. मतलब गर्बर ने शेयर्स रेकमेंड नहीं किया ब्रैडफोर्ड का, पर उस वेबसाइट पे दिखा रहा है कि गर्बर ने रेकमेंड किया. समझा? मैं काफ़ी बार लिखता हूँ कोई ब्लॉग किसी साइट पे, और मेरे नाम से झूठा ब्लॉग लिखा गया कि सर रेकमेंड किए कुछ. ठीक है. He is unaware that this message has been placed on the site as the quote was placed as a prank by an unknown source. उसको पता नहीं है. This is the 3rd time this has happened over the past month, and each time the stock being mentioned moved in price according to buy or sell recommendation. तो Gerber is a big name. What he says people do. 3 बार गड़बड़ हो गया, पर और स्टॉक भी जोर से मूव किया उस डायरेक्शन में जो गड़बड़ बोला था. Fox CFA maintains and updates the site. वो अपडेट करता है साइट Fox, and learned how to determine if the quotes were attributed to Gerber are actually valid. और Fox को ठीक पता है तरीका कि पता लगा से गड़बड़ ये बोला है या ये fabricated है. Several days later, he observes an investment recommendation posted on the site to buy Gresham Incorporation. The investment recommendation is purported to be from Gerber, but Fox actually knows it to be bogus. यानी ग्रेशम को बाई करने का रेकमेंडेशन बोल रहा है, गड़बड़ बोला है, पर गड़बड़ एक्चुअली नहीं बोला है. फॉक्स को ये पता है, दुनिया को नहीं पता है. दुनिया को दिख रहा है गड़बड़ बोला है. He immediately sells 1,000 shares short. तो you will be surprised that वहाँ तो बाई का लिखा था, सेल क्यों किया? बिकॉज वो रिकमेंडेशन तो हो चुका, तो बाई हो चुका होगा. बाय हो चुका होगा, दाम बढ़ चुका होगा, ऊपर दाम पे छेपा, सेल, एंड ईमेल्स गड़बड़ टू इन्फॉर्म हिम ऑफ द ब्रोकर्स रिकमेंडेशन, और गड़बड़ को बोला देखिए आपके साथ गड़बड़ हो रहा है, ठीक है। गड़बड़ इमीडिएटली इश्यूज अ रेब्यूटल, गड़बड़ तुरंत वेबसाइट पे गया और बोला मेरा रिकमेंडेशन नहीं है, तो सब जन जो बाई किए तो क्या करेंगे, सेल, और ये होशियार पहले से सेल कर दिया, तो दाम क्या होगा, गिरेगा, ये नीचे क्या करेगा, बाय, और जोर का पैसा कमा लेगा। एंड ग्रिशम फॉल्स बाय 14%। फॉक्सेस एक्शन इज ही इज यूजिंग इनसाइडर ट्रेडिंग, बिकॉज जो इंफॉर्मेशन था कि गड़बड़ ने जो बाइक बोला है वो उसने नहीं बोला, वो झूठा है, वो एक मटेरियल इंफॉर्मेशन है क्या, यस सर। मटेरियल कैसे है, बिकॉज पास्ट में जब भी गड़बड़ बोलता है बाय स्टॉक बढ़ता है, गड़बड़ बोलता है स्टॉक सेल स्टॉक गिरता है, तो गड़बड़ अगर बाय बोल रखा है और वो झूठ, तो वो एक मटेरियल इंफॉर्मेशन है। नॉन पब्लिक क्यों है, क्योंकि वो झूठा है, गड़बड़ नहीं बोला है, किसको पता है, सारी दुनिया की, फॉक्स को। Fox को, look at the logic. Why is it a material information? Why is it non-public? It is material because it has been stated in the write-up that when Gerberts give buy recommendation, stock jumps up. Gerberts give sell recommendation, stock goes down. So he's an important fellow. So anything said by him is material. Why is it non-public? Because only Fox knows. Okay. He should have not traded and straightaway just asked Gerber to issue a rebuttal. But instead he traded first and then asked Gerber so that the stock falls and he is able to buy. पूरा खेल किया. A violation of standard concerning the use of material non-public information. Market manipulation. Robin Anderson, a CFA Level I candidate, trades cotton contracts for a small commodity broker. Cotton contracts, buy sell करता है commodity. Anderson convinces a government cotton inspector to issue a warning that Texas cotton crop is in danger from insect infestation. तो गवर्नमेंट का ऑफिसर को बता लिया और बोला तुम इश्यू कर देना कि कॉटन में बहुत बर्बादी होने वाला है, पूरा फर्टिलाइजर मतलब कॉटन फार्म्स सारा गड़बड़ होने वाला है, तो सप्लाई शॉर्टेज हो जाएगा. द प्राइस ऑफ कॉटन सोर्स, इंस्पेक्टर ऐसा कर दिया तो कॉटन का दाम जोर से बढ़ गया. एंडरसन इमीडिएटली शॉर्ट्स कॉटन फ्यूचर्स, वो ऊपर बढ़े हुए दाम पे फ्यूचर्स बेच दिया फॉरवर्ड. वंस द पोजीशन इज क्रिएटेड, गवर्नमेंट इंस्पेक्टर इश्यूज अ सेकंड रिपोर्ट रिवर्सिंग हिज ओरिजिनल ओपिनियन एंड कॉटन प्राइसेस प्लमेट. समझा, इंस्पेक्टर पहले बोला ऐसा हो रहा है, बोला नहीं नहीं ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, कुछ नहीं हो रहा है, तो कॉटन प्राइस फिर से गिर जाएगा. ये एक पार्ट हो गया. तो इसमें क्या किया, मार्केट को मैनिपुलेट कर रहे हैं, र्यूमर फैला के आप मार्केट को मैनिपुलेट कर रहे हो, र्यूमर फैला के. यू आर मैनिपुलेटिंग द मार्केट. पहले आप झूठा र्यूमर फैलाते हो कि होता है ना राइस क्रॉप पूरा फेल हो गया, जिससे लोग राइस खरीदना चालू कर दे और दाम बढ़ जाएगा, और फिर आएगा नहीं नहीं वो गलत रिपोर्ट था. ये रियल लाइफ में होता है, आई हैव एक्सपीरियंस दैट. मतलब अभी भी होता होगा. एक बार कभी को याद है CNBC में 15 अक्टूबर के आसपास एडवांस टैक्स का रिपोर्ट आता है, कंपनीज ने कितना एडवांस टैक्स फाइल किया, ये रिपोर्ट आता है. तो पता चला रिलायंस इंडस्ट्रीज जो है वो एडवांस टैक्स जो है बहुत ही कम फाइल की है, बहुत ही कम फाइल की है इस बार. तो रिलायंस का स्टॉक धपा दब डाउन. ठीक है, तो उसके बाद ठीक 2 मिनट बाद ओके, लास्ट क्वार्टर जो किया था वो कंपेरेबल नहीं है, बिकॉज लास्ट क्वार्टर एक डिवीजन को वो सेल किया था, उसका टैक्स था, अदरवाइज नॉर्मली तो उसका बढ़ा ही है. स्टॉक धपा दब अप. समझ गए, इट्स मार्केट मैनिपुलेशन. Kani, a CFA Level 3 candidate, would like to generate a tax loss on a security held in his personal portfolio. मेरे पर्सनल पोर्टफोलियो बहुत सारा शेयर्स है, उनमें से एक शेयर का दाम गिरा हुआ है, अगर मैं उसको बेचूंगा कैपिटल लॉस होगा, और मेरे बाकी शेयर्स में प्रॉफिट चल रहा है, ये लॉस उस प्रॉफिट से सेट ऑफ होगा और मेरे को कंपनी टैक्स देना पड़ेगा. Wants to generate a tax loss. However, he believes the security has significant upside potential, पर सिक्योरिटी को बेचने का मन नहीं है क्योंकि सिक्योरिटी बाद में बढ़ेगा. तो एक काम करो, शेयर बेच के लॉस बुक करके फ्यूचर्स बाई कर लो, डेरिवेटिव. शेयर्स तो सेल कर दो और फ्यूचर्स बाई कर लो, डेरिवेटिव. ठीक है, टू अवॉइड द वॉश सेल प्रोविजंस ऑफ इनकम टैक्स कोड. Kani sells the security and simultaneously creates a synthetic long position using derivatives. Wash sale मैंने लिखाया था. वॉश सेल क्या होता है, कनी अगर यही शेयर बेच के वापस खरीदता ना, बेचा खरीदी करता, तो लगता कि वो वॉल्यूम क्रिएट कर रहा है शेयर में। इसलिए वो ऐसा नहीं किया। वो क्या किया? सेल्स द सिक्योरिटी एंड क्रिएट्स अ सिंथेटिक लॉन्ग पोजीशन यूजिंग डेरिवेटिव्स। फ्यूचर्स कॉल ऑप्शन के हेल्प से लॉन्ग पोजीशन ले लिया। विथ रिगार्ड टू स्टैंडर्ड 2B, मार्केट मैनिपुलेशन, सार्किट मैनिपुलेशन आ गया। विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग स्टेटमेंट्स कंसर्निंग एंडरसन एंड कनी कॉन्डक्ट इज करेक्ट? एंडरसन जो किया गलत किया, कनी एकदम सही किया। लेजिटिमेट स्ट्रैटेजी बाजार में अलाउड है। अरे शेयर बाई करना है, हम शेयर के बदले पुट ऑप्शन कॉल ऑप्शन बाई करेंगे, दैट्स अलाउड। सर आप बुद्धि लगा रहे हो, तो बुद्धि लगाए बिना शेयर मार्केट में करेंगे। सर आप तो ब्रेन लगा के अपने फायदे के लिए काम करें। सर आप तो पढ़ा रहे हैं ना, इस तरह पढ़ा रहे हैं जैसे आपको नेक्स्ट टाइम ट्यूशन ज्यादा मिल जाए, तो करेंगे ना। चीजों को एक्सट्रीम में नहीं ले जाएं, ठीक है? तो लेजिटिमेट स्ट्रैटेजी आर अलाउड। हाँ, मैं यहां गलत दिखा रहा हूं, गलत रिजल्ट दिखा रहा हूं कि ऐसा रिजल्ट होता है मेरा, वो गलत है, ठीक है? सर बट इफ यू आर टेकिंग मॉक टेस्ट ओवर हियर सो दैट यू गेट मोर स्टूडेंट्स, दैट्स लेजिटिमेट, आई अप्लाई स्ट्रैटेजी टू सक्सीड। अंडरस्टूड? ओके, तो आई स्टार्टेड विथ 41st नंबर क्वेश्चन। मैंने स्टार्ट किया तो और 61 तक पहुंचा, यानी आई डिड 21 क्वेश्चंस अराउंड, ठीक है? तो देयर आर 77 क्वेश्चंस ओवर हियर, बट आई प्रोवाइडेड द पिकअप, द रिदम। और कोई कर भी नहीं रखा होगा एथिक्स, मतलब अब सोचा होगा लास्ट 4 दिन करेंगे, तो रिदम इज सफिशिएंट। एंड व्हाट यू नीड टू डू, आई एम टेलिंग यू, पहले गिप्स, उसके बाद कोड एंड स्टैंडर्ड, उसके बाद फर्स्ट चैप्टर। ऑल्सो आपको जो सबसे मेन टाइम देना है 130 या 150 कैंडिडेट सोर्स का क्वेश्चन में, ये वाला नहीं, वो ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है, उससे परफेक्ट कुछ हो ही नहीं सकता। एग्जामिनेशन वाइज लेट मी जस्ट गाइड यू, बहुत बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, एवरीबडी शुड लिसन केयरफुली। जस्ट 1 सेकेंड। CFA Level 1 examination in December is on what date? 7th December. Your examination location, admit card got to be properly checked. A massacre has happened yesterday, and I mean it. I should not tell, but let me tell. A massacre has happened yesterday. Yesterday was November 17th, 16th. We had the FRM examination yesterday, FRM examination. Okay? A student registered for the FRM examination by going to the GAP website, GARP. He actually registered for the ERP examination. On the GAP website, there's an FRM examination, there's an ERP examination, ERP, Energy Risk Professional. Both GAP is written, left side FRM, ERP is written, not FRM. He prepared for 1 year. Went to the exam yesterday. So he took the exam for 45 minutes and saw that what's happening, I've studied the entire thing, I'm not understanding a single thing. Then he asked the examiner, there were 3 other people in the same room. So 60 people in the room and 3 people are sitting for the ERP examination, prepared for the FRM examination, sitting for the ERP examination. Blunder. So what happens, I cannot say. Blunder happens with so many people. You should not be the one. Your photograph on the admit card which is there, is it suitable, it is visible, or it is totally invisible? There are patches on it. God knows what. You might have been having a lunch and you dropped something. I don't know. On the passport, sorry, on the passport, your photograph is clear or not clear? I don't mean to say crystal clear. We know the Indian standards. Okay, but I mean to say reasonably clear. Okay, your name, the spelling, your first name, second name, does it match with the admit card, the passport? They will get it matched. This is not Indian examination going on. It doesn't match, a particular spelling mistake is there. Oh, so what? So everything. It matches a lot. They will not allow you to sit for the exam. It is so professional. You can't imagine how professional it is. You feel sitting for the examination, you can keep on talking. Haan, theek hai na? Kaisa hai? You can't do all this. You have to be very strictly professional. I cannot explain. And if you're not understanding, in that case, that day and the event on that day will prove it to you, and you will then repent. Very professionally prepared. You got to be. Okay? For the examination. And during the examination, you cannot look right, you cannot look left. Nothing. You cannot even give the impression that perhaps you were doing something. He cannot get a wrong impression from you, okay, that you did something. And if you feel that he got some wrong impression, you tell him towards the end that I was not doing anything. Once my paper fell and I was picking it up. Because you never know what report he will send. He's watching every movement of yours. At what minute, what second you turn to the right, he's watching and noting it down. Okay? Cheating is a different thing. I'm not saying don't cheat. That's what the heights that you do now. You'll understand. I'm talking about genuine, sincere things. When they say time, you leave the pencil and you put your hands up. Because he may feel that you are still holding the pencil. And then you have to appear again. You will say, it was in my hand, I was not writing. Why was it in your hand? It was close to my hand, he did not see. Why was it close? Put your hand up now. Okay. Sir, I could sense that the other person was seeing my paper. I could sense the other person was seeing my paper. Okay. Let him see. You may hide. That's the best outcome. But in case he's your friend or whatever it is, I don't know. At least it should not be impressed that you are showing. So if a pair is going into the examination saying that I'll study, you rejoice, I'll show you. Both the pair are going to go away. Number one, examiner's comment. Number two, statistical check of the similarity. Okay, at a certain confidence level. They will check to confirm. They were sitting together, similarity analysis conducted, and they will not leave you. Okay, they are very, very tight about it. If you forget your ID card, passport, anything, okay, sir, my father is just bringing it, have a talk with him, sir. Look at the location on the Google, he's just coming by Uber. It doesn't happen all that. You have the ID card, you have the passport, you take the examination, otherwise, aste bochor abar hobe. Okay, next time it will happen. Next time. Very, very professional, okay. Now, CFA examination towards the last, these 15 days, should be invested only in doing questions. Only questions, 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 mock test, questions, mock test. From where? Candidate resources. So your book, leave that. Focus on candidate resources. You have marked some questions in my book which you really liked, which are very important. That's okay. But otherwise, candidate resources. Mock test from there. The more you spend, 80%, 90% time. No, sir, there are certain chapters which are left. Maybe. If there are certain chapters which are left, that's a different thing. And when you take the examination, say topic-wise you are taking, and you are doing bad in certain areas, you may look at those areas from your copy again, why are you making a mistake? So you take an examination 3 hours, you analyze another 3 hours, the entire paper. What you did right, you did logically right or by fluke. What you did wrong, why wrong? What are the other options? Give 3 hours more. One paper will take 6 hours comprehensively to do. You can only do 2 papers a day because you'll study around 12 hours. Only 2. If from morning till evening you have done 2 papers comprehensively, wonderful. Okay, because while doing that, while analyzing, you're also opening your copy, my notes, everything, co-reading, you're comparing, checking, why did you make a mistake, what's written over there, the right stuff, the left stuff, it has to be an interactive revision. That's how you should go about. Do not close the book and see whether you remember the chapter. This is not that examination now. This is not about remembrance. You don't have to reproduce that matter. Okay, I spoke about so many things right now. Some people were sitting for ethics for the first time. You may not remember a single point I spoke right now. Why do you need to remember? You got a hint. Oh, what is the tone of it? When the question comes, your mind starts running. That's what is required. The question comes, your mind starts running. And that can only happen via practice of questions. There might be certain sidey chapters which you are not able to survive. It's not going into your head at all. For those sidey chapters, just 2 questions. Or almost 80% review classes are ready, review classes. You may watch the review class of that topic again, if you're really worried. But otherwise, I'm not in favor of review classes also, in these last 15 days. But in case you feel that, no, I get confidence only via that, so in that case, you may watch some review classes. Okay? During the examination, It is not lucky draw. You will know what comes first, what next, because you have given so many mock papers. You will know beforehand which topic you will attempt first, then second, then third, then fourth. You will not decide over there. You will decide at home via the experience in these days. I will open the paper, go towards FRA. I'll open the paper, no sir, I'll go towards portfolio. I'll open the paper, I'll go towards eco. It should be decided beforehand, your entire journey. Anybody who is not doing that, foolishness. I think ethics should be done towards the end. Good news. This class is being recorded, perhaps I should not say, I'll also say in a very judgmental language. It is believed that maybe questions on ethics nowadays are not big, they are small. 2-liners, 1-liners. They were big now, which I was doing. They are generally small, 1 or 2-liners. So in that case, time is saved, but then we don't know what will happen next time. Okay, there was a general comment by people. So accordingly, ethics takes a lot of time because you keep on thinking. Regarding the thinking, if there is a topic that you have left, or there's an area which you have left, you should not leave, but suppose you have left and a question comes, and you don't have any clue about it, the options A, B, C, there are just Greek, Latin to you, you don't understand about it at all. First guess, whichever, A, B, C, whichever you feel like. Do not take time in guessing, that you will spend 5 minutes in guessing. Because how can you improve your probability of getting it right by guessing for 5 minutes or 50 minutes? You know it doesn't happen. So you just do the first guess, move ahead. Don't waste time over there. Waste time, there's a question, practical, which is taking more time. You know you can do it right, but you don't have the time. Therefore, in floop, you are doing it wrong. Even if you're spending 4 minutes into a question, I'm okay with it. Okay, some CFO, CFI you have to calculate, and a lot of time is going out. I am okay with it. Whatever can be done right, invest time and do it right. Don't move ahead till you do it right. But whatever is guessed, don't waste your time. Okay? In your question paper, mark the questions which you would like to revisit at the end. In your question paper, you can mark. Do not mark answers in the question paper. There are certain people who have done this. 1A in the question paper. The OMR sheet is empty. They are marking in the question paper. Time, 0. Nothing was marked over there, or it was marked with speed. If you do one OMR mistake, say 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, all mistakes. You understanding? One OMR you, well, marking you do it wrong. As in, it was of 24, you marked 25. All wrong. Very careful regarding the OMR. Why are you rushing? Why are you becoming more anxious? Calm down. You don't have to study 18 hours before the examination on the 6th. On the 6th, you shouldn't study at all. You be as normal as possible. Whatever you do in your normal life, that will ensure that your potential, multiple choice are about guessing. Okay, things. That guessing comes when you behave normally. Don't behave abnormally by pressurizing yourself and revising something on the last day. Last day, no study. And I mean it, I'm not giving dialogues. I cannot say this to a CA student. Okay? He has to study everything last day, he cannot sleep. But we are giving for an examination where we can easily sleep. There's no problem at all. Full sleep, no anxiety. Like a professional, sit for the examination, appear, pass, move to the next level. Okay? Nobody can tell you which topic you should do earlier. That depends on your strength. There are some students from CA background, they may want to start with FRA, corporate finance. There are some students who are from stats background, they may want to start from QM. Some students from eco honors background want to start from eco. So how can I say? General BCom students, okay, whose number crunching skills are good, they may like to start with the derivative. Depends. QM, fixed income. So I cannot exactly tell you, but you should decide that towards the end, which topic to start with. I think ethics at the end. Okay? So, for the purpose of the December examination, this was the last review class. Okay? And our classes for May will continue. I'll guide. Just now I'll guide. And also, the Telegram channel that we have now, Telegram channel for academic discussion. If anybody is not a part of the channel, okay, the person is losing like anything. because there's so much rich discussion that's taking place in the channel, which is better than this class which I've taken right now. I'm trying to say that discussing in this channel ethics is much better than this class of 2 hours. Because that's such an interactive discussion where people are giving different points of view, you can't imagine. Telegram channel, the academic channel of CFA level 1, you got to be there, okay, to take the benefits. Whatever you are studying, post it over there that I did not understand this part. Somebody or the other will reply, and then I am there. There's no issue. Okay?